All right, we are live. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to the pre iftar plug. My name is Umama Al and I will be your host for the next 2 hours. We have a very, very exciting lineup today. I'm so excited to have you guys all on, and I think I'm just going to get straight into it. Instead of just, going on and on, I'm joined by someone very exciting in studio today. You will see him just now. But before that, I'm going to just introduce the segment. This is a segment that I've wanted to have since the beginning of the show because I feel like it's just such an exciting thing to talk about, and it's called the creative edit. This segment is where we spotlight young Muslim creatives who are shaping culture, telling stories, and proving that talent and tawakkul can exist in the same frame. Today, we are keeping it local and we are in Johannesburg. And I am joined by someone whose lens doesn't just capture moments, it captures feeling. Mustaqeem, better known as Himi, got it right? Okay, is a better known in the creative space, is a photographer, a filmmaker, and an actor making some serious waves in his early 20s. He is a creative mind behind Palmer Photography and the founder of Broken Compass Pictures, platforms that reflect depth, vision, and serious range. From stills to storytelling, he's not just taking pictures, he is building words. So, after my very robust introduction, welcome to the show. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for joining me. I know that it can be very nerve wracking being on air.
Yeah.
And when I run into the studio 2 minutes before the show starts, I am all over the place. But I'm so excited to have you in studio and to be having this conversation.
Yes, I'm excited too.
I have lots of questions for you, and so I'm going to get right into it. My first question is that you are a photographer, a filmmaker, and an actor. Which one feels most like home to you right now, and why?
It's a good question. Honestly, I'd say filmmaking because storytelling has always been a part of me. Since I was a kid, I've been doing this. And I think photography and acting came as extensions of that after my passion for filmmaking grew. So, yeah.
That's like your baby and will
Yeah.
always be your baby
Yeah, yeah.
almost. No, I love that. I think that the fact that you were able to take something that you love as filmmaking and, go into so many different other acting and photography and stuff like that shows that if you have a talent, you can, expand on it so
Grow
much.
into
And
other places and stuff.
exactly. And we have this segment on the show that I usually have every week, but this week I don't have it. It's called the Muslim Market. And on that, I just talk to like young Muslim entrepreneurs and stuff. And I always talk about how when you have like a talent or something that you know how to do, it's so important to expand and just make money. If
Yes,
not, just
yes.
make money from it,
Honestly, in this economy.
Exactly. So I love that you were able to expand on what you love doing. My next question is take us back to the beginning. What made you pick up a camera for the first time?
I think this journey started long before I had my first actual camera.
Yeah.
I mean, I said before, I've been doing this since I was a kid. I've been making skits, filming moments with my cousins, with my siblings. It was always me with the camera.
Yes.
And then I think when I actually got my camera back in 2024, and I started to take this seriously and notice my passion, and it just started to grow from there immensely. Yeah.
So before this, it was like phone photography and things like that, right?
Yeah, phone photography, making movies with my Legos and my
Yes.
cars and stuff like that.
I can say that I have seen like your work way before from my cousin Hafsa, and she would post all your stuff.
Oh my
all
God,
the
Hafsa.
time. And she just used to be a big fat girl. So I was like, you know what, this is someone that I have to have in the show because through Hafsa, I've kind of seen, how you've grown. And
That sounds
things
like Hafsa.
that. Exactly. So I'm very, very happy to be having this conversation. Moving on, we know that you started off young with your filmmaking, etc. So did you always see this becoming a career for you and something that you studied, or was it just like something that you thought was vibes at first?
I think it was just vibes at first, and then things started happening quickly. Last year, I had my first short film playing theaters, and then it won Best Cinematography. And from there, I've been working on film sets, connecting with other filmmakers, actors. It's just been a ride, honestly.
Why don't you tell me more about your film that was in cinemas?
So that was part of a film festival called Screams on Screen, and basically a horror film festival. That played in theaters last October, and it was, to say the least, amazing. I mean,
Yes.
it was really weird seeing myself on the big screen,
I could
but it was
imagine.
amazing, yes.
Oh, I love that. So is the any way that people can still watch it
Oh, yes,
now?
it's on YouTube. It's
It's
on
on
YouTube right
YouTube
now.
under
It's called
your.
Dead Serious.
Oh, that one there. Okay, okay. So I remember that from Instagram. Okay,
Yeah,
perfect. I would love to watch it. We're gonna watch it and we will review it on Instagram.
no problem.
um, Now moving into, I think, almost the harder part of it, and there are so many different, misconceptions that come with the filmmaking world,
Yeah.
so what has been the biggest misconception that people have about being a young creative in your 20s, or even just a Muslim young creative in this space?
Okay, so I think most misconceptions would be like that we're not hardworking, or that we can't make money out of this.
Yes.
Honestly, that's one of the biggest ones, and I think that's just not true. I mean, being a creative, you have to, in this day and age, be multi-talented and grow as I did, photography,
Yes.
from filmmaking to photography and acting, and that just makes you a better creative as a person. Better opportunities. You have much more opportunities when you grow your talents out to other stuff.
I couldn't agree more. I think that another thing that happens is people get scared almost to kind of branch out of what
Oh yes,
they're comfortable with, and they want to stick in their comfort zone all the time. And you don't realize that taking one small leap of faith could open so many doors for you, you know?
yeah. It's like fortune favors the bold only.
Exactly. um Now again, looking at it from a Muslim perspective, you're a young Muslim creative from Johannesburg, and um I'd like to say we were not as close-minded as other communities, but it's definitely something.
Yeah,
So do you ever feel like the pressure to, play it safe, or, not really be your true self within filmmaking and photography?
I don't think so at all. I don't feel like that at all. I think, in fact, me being a Muslim and being colored, it it's like a gold mine for storytelling. There's so much potential
Yes.
to tell stories in this community, and me being of that community, who better to tell the story than me and other people like me?
Yes. And I love that you've been able to bring other people from your community and make them a part of your
Yes,
filmmaking.
yes.
If you guys don't know and haven't checked his Instagram yet, I hope you guys watched Willow. It was Willow,
Yeah,
right?
it was Willow.
Gotha did Willow. I loved it. I was watching, I'm like, I know who this is. And I think I watched it 3 or 4 times. I was like, who is this? And then I checked the caption. I was like, it's
Yeah,
Gotha.
yeah.
Because I was like, I know this person, but I don't know who's Willow. And then it only kind of clicked. I was like, I'm having a slow moment, but I got it
Yes, yes. Go
nevertheless.
stream Willow.
Go stream Willow. And big shout out to Gotha for
Yes, yes.
being
Thank you,
such a
Kosar.
good actor for that. Um Talking on Willow and all of that, I want to like get into founding Broken Compass Pictures. So now you started this off in your early 20s, which is a very bold move, and something that not a lot of people are able to do,
Yes,
or
yes.
are, not scared to do it almost. So what pushed you to build something of your own instead of just freelancing?
I think I just wanted a home for my ideas, to house them all under the same roof, essentially, and basically to protect them and have them all under one roof where I can develop them, make a series, develop them into something like maybe a feature film. That's basically it.
And what made you, rather, instead of joining another filming company, I think that's what you call it, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Instead of
A production
joining a
company.
production company, instead of joining a different production company, but rather making your own, what made you choose rather to have your own one?
With other production companies, you don't get creative freedom at all.
Mm.
And that's what I wanted. I wanted my own creative freedom, to have my own ideas, to develop my own stuff.
And I think you're doing pretty well with it so far.
Yeah,
And there's so much more to come from
there's
Broken
much more.
Compass Pictures. So I can't wait to see where you go from this. During our conversation, we have been getting a few comments, and they'll pop up on the screen just now if you want to turn around and see. Or are you scared to
No, I'm not going to turn around.
Maria Frederick says, yes, Kimi, so proud. Yaya said he loves you.
Oh,
So you can say like thanks because like they hear, oh,
yeah.
there's
Oh, they
our
do, yeah.
person. Hafsa says, yes, Hafsa is here
Yeah,
always.
thank you guys. This is all my friends and my family.
Yes,
Shout out to
Lady
you
says
guys.
Mustaqeem and a whole lot of exclamation marks. Yasmin Kasim says, that's my nephew. And he's like, oh my God. So I
Ah,
love it when the family comes
yeah, yeah,
through.
yeah.
It's so nice. Shifa Johadeen says, amazing
Yeah,
exclamation
it
mark.
actually like lowers my stress now because
You see, everyone's watching and they're enjoying
yeah,
it.
yeah.
They're not scared. They're not thinking what's Mustaqeem saying. It's good.
Yeah,
It's quite good. I love it when my guests, families, and friends come through and show their love throughout the
show the
show
support.
because when it's just you and like no one is saying anything, you get a bit scared of people enjoying the show and stuff like that. So this is almost like something that calms it down for you a bit, right? But continuing our conversation, my next one is what's one project that you've worked on that made you sit back and think, okay, I'm actually built for this?
I think that would be my most recent short film. It's called After Image. It's
Yes.
basically about a boy escaping to VR to experience a moment with his sister who is now dead. So he's basically experiencing a digital version of her. With that, it was obviously a very intimate story, but also I had a small crew. I had a big lighting setups, did some really extravagant and experimental shots, drone
Yes.
shots, all of that. That's why I think that would be my most I'm built for this when I was making this, when I was editing it, and I was just thinking, wow, actually, this is one of my best, actually.
Yes, no, I love that. And while you're talking, it's making me think just before this show, I was a guest on another Salam Media show earlier on
Oh
today.
wow.
Yes, it's been a rough day. And I was talking about my debut novel, right?
Oh
And
wow.
yes, last year, November, I published my book. And so I was talking to one of my colleagues about the book, and it kind of took me back because ever since I launched the book, I never opened it again. I said, I can't do this.
Oh my god.
Give me time.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah. And so last night I like opened the book and I read a bit. So I said, hey, I must remember what happened to the storyline. And it made me think that like there's so much that goes into being a creative
And creating
and
something.
creating something, because you can have all of these thoughts in your mind, I want to do this and that, but to actually execute it is something so
It's so daunting.
exactly. And so when I was sitting there and I was answering these questions in this interview, I was like, gosh, I actually did this. And it was actually a moment.
That's going through my head right now.
Exactly. And it's such a surreal moment almost, because I think I'm talking for myself now. I don't give myself enough credit, I
Yeah,
would
yeah.
say, for the things that I do, except when someone actually mentions it. And I feel like now sitting in the studio and talking to you and hearing your creative journey, and early on having to talk about my creative journey, it kind of like sits back and think, as Gen Z, if you want to put it that way,
Yeah.
we're really making waves and we're really doing things.
Honestly.
And I feel like there's so many more people that could come out and show their talent, but they're so afraid to do it and afraid of the judgment and things like that. And so us being on this platform and having this conversation is so important,
Very.
because you
Honestly.
won't even realize how many other people will come from this and say, you know what, if Mustaqeem could do it,
It's like
I think I
inspiring, yeah.
exactly. And I think it's so it's heartwarming almost to say that we the people that are, being the inspiration.
Yeah.
That way. It's really lovely, and I'm
It's
so
amazing, eh?
glad that you're here with me having this conversation.
Yes.
And
Thank you for having me again.
no problem at all. I love that this Ramadan, this is the first Ramadan that we're actually having studio guests in studio, rather. In like this new studio and stuff like that. So I like having guests in studio, I think, more, because as much as we can have this conversation over the phone, but like when you're in person, it's like
It's much
better, nerves are
much more
less
better.
in some way.
It's a new experience also. It's just not just sitting behind my
Exactly.
screen and doing it, you know?
Exactly. So it's very, very exciting. I think let's just move on to our questions
Okay,
now. We're
okay.
just making conversation.
No, it's okay.
We live in a time of social media. Everything is online. And so with social media, it has changed the way that the film industry has been,
Totally.
and photography and things like that. Do you think that social media has helped creatives more, or do you think that it's hurt them? I think also adding AI to that, this whole era that we're living in, is it good or a bad thing for the industry?
I think social media has done wonders. It's exceptional what it has done in the last 6 years.
Yes.
Gatekeeping for the industry has eroded immensely. It still exists, but it's not as powerful at all. I mean, for me personally, I'm in contact with internationally and locally lots of creatives, and that just makes a lot of doors open up for you.
Yes.
But with AI on the rise, like last year, AI just spiked,
Mm.
and lots of companies and brands have been using AI for their ads, and that just goes in with the loss of job market and whole other story. But honestly, I think it's social media has opened a lot of doors for us.
And from another perspective now, you see that there's, I think, a big rise for the minimalist aesthetic, and people are scared of color now and scared
Yeah,
to express themselves the way they would like to. So how are you kind of, breaking away from keeping things extremely minimalistic and Instagram worthy and making something that's actually true to yourself?
I think being your authentic self is the most important thing you can do, because with minimalism and stuff, it's like wide. Everyone does it, everyone knows it.
Yeah.
Being your authentic self brings in new experiences, new aesthetics, a whole new bunch of things, and that's what people need.
Yes, yes. No, I couldn't agree more. And the people laugh at me because I have like three lines that I say after each question. Either I couldn't agree more, 100%. That's what I say every
I
time.
didn't even notice.
My viewers are very mean, and they let me know
It's
what I
probably
say.
Afsa.
I'm sorry, you can see they talking about you. But I always have these because the answers that I get from my guests are always so profound, almost because you don't really think about these things. I draft down these questions, but I never know what the answer is gonna be.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and now, like, kind of shifting gears almost, we're in Ramadan, and this is like a Ramadan show and things
Hmm.
like that. So I always try to, as much as it's, normal conversations, kind of bring Islam into it
Yes,
and
yes.
bring Muslims into it and things like that, right? um and there's definitely one common issue that I have seen from my side, at least, is that, like, Muslims are scared. They're scared to be creative, and they're scared to express themselves in ways that are so, like, harmless.
I know, I
You
know.
know, even like me being here and talking to some people, I am doing the worst thing ever.
Oh my
Like, oh, I'm
god.
gonna hell, guys.
No.
But unfortunately, that's how it is right now. And I try my best, like, have like people like you, example, other creatives and stuff on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
show, to
yeah.
show that we're not doing anything bad, I promise. And this is just to
Honestly,
showcase, talent from all spaces and walks of life,
give a
really.
platform.
Exactly. So that goes into my next question that I have for you, and that is, for young Muslims who feel like they're too creative or that art isn't a stable path, what would you say to them?
Okay, firstly, being too creative is never a bad thing.
Yes.
And secondly, I'll be honest, a creative path is never stable. I mean, to be an overnight success, you have to be grinding 10 years before that.
And then you're going to be a one hit wonder
Yeah,
and
and
it's
people's going to say, oh
over.
my God, you're one hit wonder. Like, what? I think if you have a calling to do something creative and it's something you really want to do, you should take the risk. Fortune favors the bold, as I said before. You really should take the risk and see where life takes you.
100%. See, 100%. I actually mentioned something like this in earlier on's interview. When I was asked to say, like, what would you tell to other people that want to write and things like that, and I said the exact same thing, that if you don't try, you'll never
You're
know.
not gonna know at all.
Exactly, and
You could be
it's
like the next J.K. Rowling or
exactly, exactly, and you could be doing such big things with your life that you never realized. You could, something as small as, like, looking at the Muslim market. We had these girls that just have like a matcha iced coffee business situation, and it just started as like a little dream, which it's quite insane. They go as BLB coffee, and I was like, what is beer? Blind leading the blind. They named they become
that's
blind.
insane. Are you kidding?
Exactly, it's so aesthetic, girly pop vibes, but it's called blind leading the blind. And I was so
It's a
weak,
good name. Wow.
actually, and I had to keep myself composed in ear because I was like, what do you mean? But that just made me think as well that, like, we they weren't scared to just start something creative, name it brand, even the brand, because they don't know what they're doing either.
Yeah.
And now they have made such an amazing platform for themselves. The clientele is so high, and it was just them making iced coffees
It
and
just
things
grew
like
into
that.
something as it does.
Exactly. And that's just comes to show that just try it out, even if it sounds like the weirdest idea. Just try and see what comes from it. And
Yeah.
now moving back to your creative journey, if you had to explain or describe your creative journey in 3 words, what would they be?
I would say messy,
Mm-hmm.
emotional, because you don't know if you should continue following this, or as you said now, just go into it blindly and see where it takes you. And lastly, I would say peak, absolutely peak. This is an amazing experience so far.
Yes. I think that it's almost like so many emotions at once when it comes to creating something. What are people going to think about it? And am
How are people
I
gonna take it, perceive
exactly,
it?
especially if in the filmmaking world, it's like something that maybe is so niche and other people just don't get it.
They-
It's like that. So I want to ask, like, going back to the social media thing, right? Right now with trends as well, we spoke about how we have like the minimalist trend and things like that, but just like trends in general, do you find yourself gravitating towards filming with things that are trending right now, or is it all just like your own ideas that you hope would become a trend? Or, like, how does that kind of work out for you?
so for me, and I think with a lot of other creatives, we do follow trends
Mm,
because it makes your audience grow. I mean, the social media algorithm works with trends.
mm,
So inevitably we have to do the trends, but also we have our own ideas and our own films that we also publish.
mm.
So that's basically it, yeah.
And your team, is it just you that's just doing everything, or do you have like a team that you work with? Tell us more
I
about that.
do have a team when I'm doing my short films. I have my cousin Taiba, shout out to Taiba, and I have my other cousins Yasin and Maria. They also sometimes star in my films. I have a composer actually.
Okay.
He's from Australia. He's really cool, and that's basically my very small, very talented team.
No, I love that. Now I'm also listening to what the answers that I give. But I think it becomes almost a bit scary when you have to share your art or your talent almost with other people sometimes, because you don't know if they're gonna have the same ideas that you have, or they're gonna understand what you're trying to do the same way that you understand the vision behind your projects.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think the best thing also is having family. Sometimes it's very bad, sometimes it's very good.
Personally, for me, it's been very good
Alhamdulillah,
because it's like
alhamdulillah.
very comfortable and things like that.
And they already understand what you're looking for and what
Yeah,
you want to do, so you don't have to start from scratch. So that's amazing.
yeah,
I 100% went the solo route when it came to my work. I think mainly because I was scared.
that
It was
makes
my
sense.
first ever run at this, and I didn't know if I was going to publish it until I had to pay to publish it. I was still on the fence, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know if I want to do this. But when it all came down to it, I said, I have something that I think is such a good thing. This is
Yeah,
such a good product, if you want to put it that way, that I have, that I feel like so many people
people
are
would
going
love.
to love and resonate with, and things like that. And that was kind of what pushed me almost to publish it. Other than that, it was gonna sit in my house and no one was gonna ever
I
name
mean,
it
at least you
about
did
it.
it. I
But
mean, it takes a lot of
alhamdulillah,
guts, hey?
it really does, man. I cried, I think, for the first week. And everyone, congratulations on launching the book. I was like, I don't know I feel
That
about
makes total
this.
sense.
Yeah, but now that I look back at it, I'm so glad that I did it. And I'm so glad that
Exactly.
I was able to share,
And take
my
that leap.
passion with the world. And I'm sure it's felt the same for you when you had to, do your first film, and things like that, that it's definitely something that you never know is gonna go good or bad.
Never.
But
It's.
it's clearly going good for both of us.
It really is. At
Alhamdulillah.
least.
I'm
Alhamdulillah.
so glad. I'm so glad, and we're able to have this conversation because it's going so well. Where to from here? What do you see for the future?
I see myself honestly working on film sets, doing what I love, and getting paid for it. Um, that's basically it. obviously publishing my own short films,
Yes.
doing my own ideas, creating my own stuff, but still building that experience, working on other film sets, maybe doing some ads. Yeah.
Mm. And just making money, man.
Yeah.
Just making cash.
But doing what we love, honestly.
Exactly. So, um, on that note, we close off the show and we close off the segment rather. It has been so amazing having you
Thank
on,
you
and
so much. This is amazing.
the pleasure is all mine. We really enjoyed. Um, I know that Putty sits and listens, and she gives me her feedback on the shows afterwards.
Oh.
But it's been really nice. I really have enjoyed talking to you about your creative journey
Yes,
and
yes.
things of that sort, because we definitely need more of you out there. Yasmin Kasim says, so proud of you. Lots of
Thank
exclamation
you. Thank
marks
you so
from the
much.
heart. Tasneem Kasim says, with a lot of exclamation marks and caps. Ziad Kasim says, we out the hood, guys. When you best include me too.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
Going out the hood.
Yeah.
And he says, Kimi, I love you, Kazo.
Love you
So
too.
the whole Kasim family has come out today, and all in Salam Media. Last week I think it was the Walshis, the Jumas, the were just full up on the show.
Yeah,
We've
so.
got the Kasims, but yeah, no, thank you so much for joining me. This has been the Creative Edit. We're going to go on a short ad break, and we will be back with the next segment.